Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking a massive wave of complex headlines and synthesizing them into one clear, structured briefing. We're going to move from a shocking national security incident right in the heart of Washington straight through to the unprecedented ways that technology is altering modern crime. There is a whole lot to cover today, so let's get right into it.
We're dropping right into the action with the explosive events at the White House Correspondents Dinner. This is an event usually known for its lighthearted roasts and networking, but it abruptly devolved into what CNN's Wolf Blitzer, who actually experienced it firsthand, described as a completely terrifying ordeal when a gunman suddenly opened fire. Just imagine being in that room. It is a stark reminder of how quickly a highly secure environment can just shatter. So here is our roadmap for today. Number 1, chaos at the WHCD. 2, high-profile political probes. 3, modern technology and climate. And 4, questioning systemic justice.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, chaos at the WDCD, and how an annual dinner transformed into a crime scene.
The chain of events here was incredibly rapid. President Trump was right in the middle of speaking when shots rang out. Instantly, the Secret Service rushed him off the stage, executing an immediate response to neutralize the suspected gunman. It was an absolute whirlwind of decisive action before officials like Kash Patel could even begin the critical process of getting witness interviews underway. Now, that investigation didn't stay contained to the ballroom for very long. Almost immediately, the focus shifted to the streets. News crews, including CNN, were already reporting live outside a home linked to the suspected shooter, which really demonstrates just how rapidly law enforcement and the media mobilized to track down leads in the wake of a high-profile attack. But while that specific incident grabbed the national spotlight, communities everywhere were grappling with a grim, rapid-fire wave of violence simultaneously. In just a short span, a Chicago hospital officer and 2 USF doctoral students were tragically killed, while a mall argument in Louisiana claimed a teen's life. Add to that a triple homicide suspect dying in an Atlanta jail, a breakthrough guilty plea in the decades-old Jam Master Jay case, and 2 Americans killed in the Philippines. It is a heavy list, but it's a stark reminder of the relentless nature of crime across all jurisdictions on any given day. Moving right along to Section 2, high-profile political probes and navigating legal battles at the highest levels. Right now, we're seeing a really stark contrast in the momentum of these high-stakes probes. On one hand, you have a de-escalation, with Jeanine Pirro dropping the criminal probe into Jerome Powell. But simultaneously, things are heating up elsewhere, as an accuser of Representative Eric Swalwell actively cooperates with a Manhattan District Attorney investigation. It's a complex picture of shifting political accountability, where one investigation closes, another accelerates. Adding to all this tension, the rhetoric itself is escalating. Get this, the Trump administration has actually compared political criticism and satire directly to calls for violence, which marks a major shift in how political speech is categorized. Meanwhile, over on the international stage, a massive legal drama is brewing. Venezuela's former spy chief might actually take the stand as a star witness in the trial against Nicolas Maduro. The geopolitical stakes here are absolutely massive. That brings us to Section 3, modern technology and climate, the changing landscape of crisis. So, what role does artificial intelligence play in modern crime? That's a question investigators literally never had to ask a decade ago or even 5 years ago. But the intersection of cutting-edge technology and human tragedy is now undeniable, and law enforcement is scrambling to catch up. To put a fine point on it, there has been a chilling revelation. The suspect in the deadly Florida State University shooting actually consulted ChatGPT before the event. Just let the implications of that sink in for a second. It shows precisely how modern, accessible AI technology is actively complicating criminal investigations. We're no longer just looking at physical evidence. We are looking at algorithmic footprints and machine-generated advice. And man, it is not just AI causing institutional whiplash right now. We're watching systems struggle to adapt across the board. Financial prediction markets are absolutely exploding in popularity, yet the very regulator tasked with policing them is actually shrinking. At the same time, the climate is forcing our hand as the world enters a severe new era of hard-to-tackle wildfires. But amidst all these massive systemic shifts, we still see the incredible human element, like off-duty firefighters stepping up to perform a harrowing, icy water rescue of a mother and son. It proves that whether the threat is digital or environmental, the need for human bravery remained constant. Finally, let's dive into Section 4, questioning systemic justice, and what happens when the legal system is under review. We're currently seeing a very distinct pattern of systemic flaws being brought to the light. For example, a man once considered Detroit's toughest homicide interrogator is now accused of coercing false confessions. Elsewhere, a court completely overturned a subway bomber's conviction for giving ISIS material support, which raises some really serious questions about how terrorism prosecutions are handled. And incredibly disturbing new details reveal that Jeffrey Epstein's victims were trafficked to other men, raising profound doubts about the thoroughness of past investigations. These aren't isolated incidents. They represent a system actively interrogating its own integrity.
It creates this fascinating contrast between the traditional and the highly modern aspects of the law. Consider the age-old, high-risk strategic decision of a defendant choosing to testify in their own defense, a classic courtroom drama. Now compare that to a federal judge currently weighing whether to mandate air conditioning in the United States' largest prison system. It shows a legal system stretched between age-old traditions of trial strategy and rapidly evolving modern standards of basic care and human rights.
And that really brings us to the core of everything we've explored today. As artificial intelligence evolves to play a role in crime, as the climate creates new eras of emergency, and as deep systemic flaws within our institutions are exposed, how will our justice system adapt to maintain true public safety? I'm going to leave you with that provocative thought to ponder. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning the headlines.